the window, maybe that will help. And suddenly the whole world froze like a picture. Like you're watching a movie and you click the pause button and the movie stops, the whole world froze. Like the world didn't have any existence. And everywhere that I look, the world is a picture, doesn't move. And my mind is racing 1,000 miles an hour, and all that I could think of is that I'm about to leave this world. I know I'm about to die. And I know I'm about to meet this famous God that everybody was talking about. And I realized for the first time in my life that everything I have in this world is staying behind. And I had a lot. Had a lot of money. Had a big company. Had a gorgeous car. A beautiful house. Everything that you want to wish for yourself, I had already. And I realized the first time in my life that everything that I was running after my entire life was nonsense. Everything that I own and have is staying behind. And the only thing that I can take with me, I don't have. I'm coming up to Shamayim empty-handed. There's one thing that I can take with me, and I don't even have one. That's a mitzvah. I don't even have one mitzvah. And a lot of people tell me, how do you know? What do you mean you knew you're leaving the world? You knew that you're dying. There's a level that is called hasaga, understanding, grasping. When you experience something, you know exactly what's going on. If you have a headache, or if you're hungry, or if you're happy, whatever emotion you're feeling, you know what you're feeling. If you have a headache, nobody can come and tell you, you don't look like you have a headache, you look like you're fine. Yeah, but I feel the pain. And if you're starving, nobody can come and tell you, no, you're fine, I think you can eat till tomorrow, you can wait till tomorrow. What do you mean? I feel the pain. How do you feel the pain? I just feel the pain. Can you explain the pain? No. So when you experience something, an emotion or a thought, you know what you are going through. So I knew I'm about to leave this world. And I knew I'm about to meet this famous God. And I'm sitting in the back seat of the car, trembling from fear. Because I know that everything that I ran after for 28 years is what's going on in the present and a little bit into the future. And a lot of people ask me, you know, I can somehow understand that you are hovering over your body and you saw what's going on beneath you. I can somehow relate to that. But I don't understand how you can see the past, see the present, and see the future. That doesn't make sense. So the short explanation to that is when our neshama, when our soul is in our body, it's limited to the body. So the body can only see from here a couple miles. And the body can only hear a certain amount of distance. And the body can only carry a certain amount of weight. And the body can only live in the present. The body cannot see in the past, cannot see in the future, can only be in the present, and can only see and do what the body allows it to do. But once the soul leaves the body, it has no limitations. The soul can see from here to the other side of the earth with no problem. The soul can be at the same time present at 50,000 conversations. Hear it, see it, and be there with no limitations. The soul can see the past, the present, the future. The soul has no limitations. So I was able to see this girl's past, what's going on in the present, and a little bit into the future. And as all this is happening, the car is driving in the streets of Manhattan. I'm being pulled a little bit higher and a little bit higher. And then the car went under this little bridge, under this little overpass. And I went into the overpass. And I suddenly see, I like calling it the graphic design of the world. And I'll tell you what I mean. Imagine now you're looking at a website. Gorgeous website. Beautiful. Beautiful colors, beautiful design, beautiful pictures. You click a button, opens a page, click a button, starts playing a video. What would you see if hypothetically you would remove the screen? What would you see? You would see the code that creates the website. Now if you're not a designer or a coder, you don't understand anything. It's just a bunch of letters that doesn't make sense. But how really does it work? Some guy sits, writes a code, clicks on a button, and voila, beautiful website. How come I don't see the code? Because there's a design on the screen that doesn't allow me to see the code. The same exact way, that's how God creates the world. God creates the world with a code. It says, "Ba'asara ma'amarot nivra olam." With 10 speeches, the world was created. God speaks, and He creates the world. And how does He create the world? He takes 22 sophisticated tools, the 22 letters of Lashon Kodesh, the holy language of Hebrew, and He writes a code. He puts all the letters together. Then He clicks a button and voila, beautiful world. How does it work? God takes these letters and creates a code. We just don't see the code because we have a screen on our eyes that we just see the design, but we don't see the code. And the thing is, a lot of people think that God created the world and then went out for lunch. The reality is, if for 1 second Hashem pulls out, the world doesn't exist anymore. Our sages say, "V'chol yom mechadesh b'tuvo ma'aseh bereshit." Every second Hashem recreates the world. Every second Hashem injects power into the world. If Hashem stops for 1 second, the world doesn't exist anymore. And everything in the world has this godly power. Everything. Animals have it. Inanimates have it. Tables. Everything. Stones. Everything has this godly power. The Arizal calls it nefesh. Nefesh chaya. Everything has a godly power, an energy that enlivens it. We just don't see it. We just see the design. But if somebody would remove this design, you would see the godly power that creates the world. And the second that I was pulled into this bridge, I saw this godly power. Everywhere that I look, I see letters. Millions and millions of letters. And I'm able to read the code, and I understand what I see. And not because I'm Israeli and I know Hebrew. Because the soul only knows Lashon Kodesh. There's only one language in Shamayim. You don't go up with Google Translate. There's only one language in Shamayim, Lashon Kodesh. All the souls know it. And I'm able to read the code, and I understand what I see. And it literally felt like I'm there, I'm not exaggerating, maybe 50,000 years. 50,000 years of unbelievable information. And how long does it take a car to go under a little bridge? Maybe 2 seconds. Now as all this